Alright, hey everyone. How are you guys doing today? This might be a little bit loud. Let me turn this down. Okay. There we go. Okay. Hi. Um, I'm Snapple. No, I'm joking. Hey everyone. I'm feeling better. I had it for some reason. It might have actually worked, but someone someone suggested have some honey. As freak as they are, they said honey. Yeah, I know. It's not freak. They're just freak. But how's everyone doing today? Happy late Valentine's Day, which I missed. Sorry about that. If you're wondering, no, I do not have anyone to be with. I'm lonely as hell. I just played Spider-Man all day that day. Spider-Man is my love, if you want to know. So yeah. So yes, I was with my love of my life, Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2, to be exact. Okay, well, let's talk about the video. Last part. Oh, wow, it's already been 2 minutes. Sorry about that. Last part. Wait, no. Okay, P and Storm made their return. We got Storm some clothes, and P got his bones. We are progressing quite well-ish, I think. I hope. I don't know. I don't know how, like, this works, because we have a limited number of days or time to find the hotel or whatever. But, like, I heard that, like, we need to get their, mutual intimacy levels high. Like, they need to become better friends or acquaintances. Father figure and son, basically. I think. I don't know. I don't know what is going on between those two. But yeah, I am actually feeling better. As you may hear, I'm feeling better. Yes, thank you. What else happened? Nothing much. We got Storm clothes. P got his bones. Yeah. Oh, wait. The road and the gangs. I don't know if that's foreshadowing for what's to come. But there may be a gang, maybe? I don't know. I'm not hinting, or maybe not. Yeah. I'm very sorry for my terrible schedule. School sucks. College, oh my god. Flippers. My first semester was the best, and then next thing you know, wham! What class I thought would be easy is going to be horrendously hard. Philosophy. I know. I thought it was just me storytelling about the old Greeks. Or like the Athenians. But yeah. Oh my god. Okay. I actually, in class, I was like wondering, why does the Athenian sound so familiar? I'm like, now realizing I'm reading Minotaur Hotel. Okay. Okay, but let's get to the video. I will see y'all there. He reached in and brushed a finger over the bills. His tail stopped. His hand went limp too. I heard a sniffle. Storm didn't even pull the money out. He exhaled hard. Had to have been holding a lungful of air the whole time, and slipped my wallet back where it belonged. A hoof slid. He hoof slid, not so thieving. Oh, okay. It's like, what is this word? He hoof slid is not so thieving. Gosh, heaving. He hoof slid his not so thieving little self back to his bed. and for the next few hours pretended to be asleep, just like I was. I don't think he noticed how much I was smiling. Is it odd to say I felt proud of him at that moment? Just as dawn broke, we got up and got ready for the day. Storm wouldn't even look at me. He was hunched over his plate, eyes down all throughout breakfast. Before waking up, I had decided not to talk about it, but with all that guilt reeking off of him, I had no other choice. Sometimes people needed punishment for their own peace of mind. Might as well get it over with. Before we head out, I'd like to have a word with you. What is it? A streak of sunlight flashed over from the window onto his face. The wetness in his eyes, glimmering like diamonds, struck the words out of my mouth like a open palm. What could I even say to him? That I understood, and I was proud that he didn't steal my money. That I was proud he'd do what he needed to do to survive. Curse upon curse, onto us. Curse upon curse piled onto us. If you don't grab a hold of your life first, it won't even blink as it wrings your neck. Maybe he should have run off with the money. The fact he tried shows he's not an idiot, and that's something I can appreciate. Birds of a feather flock together, I suppose, but I can't tell that to him. Boss? Sorry, I was lost in thought. It's just... I felt the feathers on the back of my neck ruffling and itching, and ended up blurting out the first thing that came to mind. I like to believe that what makes us good is not what we want to do, but what we stop ourselves from doing. Or how much we hold ourselves back from doing what we shouldn't. We all want awful things sometimes, don't we? Because we might need them to survive, or we want this or that, or sometimes just because fucked up stuff can make you feel kinda high. Have you ever wanted to do something like that? Something that makes you feel like the worst person in the world? It can just pop out of nowhere. Hold up, give me a second. Sorry. There. Sorry. It can just pop out of nowhere, a fucked up idea, and it makes you feel like a sick freak. Or maybe you feel like everything is going too good for you, and that can't be right. It can't last for long, so you do whatever you can do to get caught and kicked out. You might as well, since it's gonna happen anyway, and the wait is just unbearable. Have you ever felt that? Yes, sir. I'm on the same boat. I feel it every day. But there's something My dry tongue glued itself to the roof of my mouth. I almost gave up on the entire thing, but kept telling myself I had to say it. Even if I wasn't sure I believed it. There's one thing I know for sure. What we think about those darker moments doesn't make us bad people. What matters is whether or not we give in to it. There's something good in having strength to hold on to what's right, even if it's at the last possible second. I have to respect someone who can get away with a crime scot-free, and then turns around and does the right thing instead. I had to swallow a lump in my throat to stop myself from saying too much. This wasn't about me. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, sir. Good. Thank you. You promise? Yeah. We stood there, like a pair of statues. I didn't know what else to say, and by the fidgeting of his legs, neither did he. That should have been it. Time to head out and search for the hotel. But still, my feathers stayed ruffled. More words crawled up my throat, and I let them out before I could think them through. When this is all over and done with, you can come with me. There's no future for you out here, and I can help you make a fresh start back in the city. I didn't even know if I could do it. I didn't even know what I would do after this adventure was done. But there I was, making a promise I knew I couldn't keep. I reached out to give him a half hug, or maybe more like a pat in the back, but then he wrapped me up in his arms and started squeezing my lungs out. He lifted me off the ground and into the air before I could say anything. Squished as I was, I could only breathe in his stench and wiggle of my legs. It took a while, but when he calmed down, he let me go. Finally. Okay. Enough horsing around. Let's get out and looking for that damned hotel. Yeah, let's go. Before I forget, there's one thing you should know. I don't sleep. At all. Good to know. As we walked out to my car, I couldn't stop asking myself why I promised to help him in the first place. His hands holding my wallet, tail tapping against the bed, the way he couldn't hold in a sniffle when his fingers touched the bills. You sad, sick piece of shit. You like having power over the kid, don't you? Making it real damn easy to make him do whatever you want, huh? Do you really still think you can play the good guy? You'll just disappoint him when he finally sees what a sorry excuse of a man you are. You would know that, right? Or maybe you like that he's dirty for you. You wouldn't even be able to relate to him otherwise, would you? Maybe birds of a feather do flock together. It was already done. At least, he'd been more motivated after that little pep talk, and that was already enough. And that was reason enough to do it. It might help us reach the hotel. Plus, as long as he believed that promise, he wouldn't try to pull anything else like that. We'd be safer for it. So I told myself that's all it was. That had to be it, but the further I drove from the inn, the less sure I became. Okay, where are we going? I forget. Are we supposed to go to the salt? The salt? Or the bus stop? I totally forgot. I really did forget. Would the library have anything? I don't think so, right? Wow, wait, what? Okay. Wait, wasn't there like an area where like everything piles down in the middle? I think it's like flooded town, right? Why not the salt plains though? Okay. I'm thinking bus stop, flooded town, or salt plains. One of these areas. Surely it doesn't matter, right? Why not? Here. In the heart of the hinterlands, near its lowest point, is a vast plain where the salt mining company keeps all their production before doing whatever they need to do to package and ship it. I had seen it from afar once with Dad, an endless stretch of a cracked white that makes the very air around it, cut one's throat. Back then, I didn't know enough to appreciate the importance of salt as purification and cleansing agent for the occult, and an entire field of it is powerful indeed. If any place in the hinterlands might hold a promise of leading me to the Minotaur's hotel, this had to be it. I was also aware, however, that a pond nearby, all the water flowing into the hinterlands ends up there, bringing all the manner of dirt and trash with it. That kind of defilement too, may bring out malevolent aberrations, which are promising in its own way as well. So we going to the salt plains? Yeah. Salt has many occult properties, so perhaps that might give us a lead to the hotel. Do you know any weirdness that ever happening around there? Not really, except for a crazy old man who wanders around those parts. He's some kind of hermit or something. Every now and then, I'd stumble onto him, and we'd share food. He ain't a bad guy, just completely out of his mind. Interesting. Could you take me to him? You wanna talk to the old wacko? Madness and insight often come hand in hand. Also, it's very rude of you to refer to him in that manner, so don't do it again. Okay, fine. What's the gentleman's name? Storm bit his lip and tapped his hooves to the beat of the song. Even as he seemed to rack his brain, he kept the rhythm. I don't know. Don't recall him ever telling me. I just call him Old Man. He doesn't mind? Nah. He's actually a really cool dude. Never gave me a shit for being, well, a Minotaur? Yeah, that. Interesting. Perhaps he's familiar with the occult matters then. Just tell me where to go then. Storm, I've got a good feeling about this one. Aye, boss. For an hour or so, we trekked through the salt plains, checking out the spots where Storm had encountered the old man before. Storm left from the top of the mound on a sled and slid down. I took a moment to breathe, feel the breeze while drinking some water and get my bearings. I was standing on another hardened pile of salt and dirt, left out from the last time the mining company had been by. The heat and the unending sprawl of whiteness were getting to me. Then I noticed way out and behind someone was watching us. Too far, and the surroundings are too bright for me to catch any details. When I turned around, they were gone. Maybe they ducked behind another salt mound or one of the scraggly trees. I stood there, seeing if they would come back, but no such luck. I turned around following Storm's example and slid down. Just as I descended past the dune's peak, the figure rose up again, this time accompanied by two more. It's possible we're being followed. You sure? There shouldn't be anyone around here at this hour. Yeah, couldn't catch any details, but I saw one, then three shapes staring at us, about a kilometer away. And then I saw another one of them, right behind me, atop the dune, at just the right angle that my head blocked Storm seeing it. Just right behind me, atop the dune, at just the right angle that my head blocked Storm from seeing it. Storm, don't move. Look me in the eyes and don't move. He still tried to fidget and look behind me, but I shook my head. Do you know Ave Maria? Yeah, of course. Close your eyes and pray with me then. We both muttered through it once. The figure was watching us. Storm cracked one eye open to peek at me. Again. Trust me. Just keep doing this until I say so. The kid tore through the prayer after prayer with ease, barely getting a syllable wrong. I followed along, but kept my attention on the figure behind me. Prayer after prayer recited it, until our watcher shuttered itself. A flower sheds its petal under the breeze. An apparition, a weak one though. We found it. The hotel? Maybe, or something otherwise occult. Are we safe? If a few Ava Maries are around to if a few Ava Marias were enough to dispel it, then yes. More peculiar is the fact that this thing can cross the field of salt unhindered, which means it might not even be malevolent. That was when I realized my mistake. I was so preoccupied with what was behind me that I didn't check what was in my blind spot. That is, right behind Storm. I reached for my gun, but it was at my fingers. My little friend. Sweet Jesus. Storm up beside me, blocking me from pulling out my gun. And you brought a friend. As much of a friend as that thing might be, that is. You almost gave me a heart attack. Your fault. You should have seen me coming. You think I have eyes in the back of my head or something? Not you, no. Hey. No, you wouldn't introduce me to your captor over here. Oh yeah, so shut up for a second. Storm, check your ear gauge. My ear? Oh. It's active and you... Me. How can you see through it? Why, I'm above the parlor tricks that all kids do. I've got a keen eye myself, you know? Much like you, which is why I'm shocked that you don't recognize me. I'm afraid I can't recognize someone I've never met before. Is that so? What's your name, boy? People call me P. And you don't recognize me. After everything, didn't I tell you to never come back? I'm afraid you got the wrong P. You might be referring to my grandfather. Oh dear. He bonked his head with the butt of his hand. What year is it? Are we past the 2000s? Oh, what a blunder I've made. awfully sorry. Really am. What a mess, this whole kerfuffle for nothing. Please understand, it's just that you and him smell and look just the same. Such a sweetly chaotic stench. Please understand, it's been so long since I entertained any guests. I just got overexcited. And what guests, yes. So nostalgic, how could I ever guess that Lo and the headless guard would just walk around into my quaint little home? He motioned modestly, clearly. If it weren't for his age, he would have gestured far more broadly. Straight out of poems, yes? Now come, sit with me. My stench may attract all the maggots in this hole, but none shall bother our sweet Lo. Now wait a second. You still haven't answered my question about how you saw through Storm's disguise, and don't think I didn't catch about the little jab ears. And those apparitions following us, they were your handiwork too. More like your Gramps. I didn't put them here, no, sir. What? What did you... His cackle was combined with a cough. Strings of snot and phlegm burst from his mouth with every gust of air. I mean what I say, and say what I mean. You bug-eyed headless giant. How do you... I can see just as much as you, Birdie. I'm a god. I closed my eyes, but the image of that thing was already burned onto every one of my feathers. Come on, boss. Don't be so rough with him. He's just some just some old man. He can just act odd. He can just be odd for like... He can just be odd like this sometimes. Unhinged, more like. But he's a harmless boss. Just some poor old sick beggar. Beggar? I'll have you know I'm a hermit, sonny. I don't beg for table scraps of the vermin. You beg for my food all the time. But that's because you're no vermin. Just the unluckiest boy in this forsaken hole, and not one of my subjects. Yeah. He's just poor and unhinged, boss. Completely harmless. But I don't think we'll learn anything about the hotel from him. This creature, this person, this spirit. Can he hear this, or simply see me? He can keep himself veiled from Storm, while letting me see. But is he tricking the kid? What's his game? If he's as crazy as Storm says he is, will he just snap some time and breathe? Keep hold of yourself. Storm, this isn't a man. I'm a god. I am fretfully sorry, sir, for intruding in your territory without permission. Finally, some goddamn respect. Boss, what are you talking about? The greatest wonder of the hinterlands, the source of all purity, and... He began to laugh his head off. His skull off? Well, all curses too. So what's the script this time? Are we going to do this whole I'm looking for the Minotaur's hotel rigmarole all over again? Just like we did with your grandpappy? You know about it? Sure do. I was just meandering along, minding my business and taking a leak. When he got pulled into it, I saw it all happen, I did. How do I get there? No shame at all, huh? You insufferable brat. You come to my territory, dispel my aberrations, talk to me like I'm some mortal vermin, and then you have the gall to ask me about questions like that? You are so rude. Didn't even ask me how I'm doing, not a damn word about my day. And the weather, my skull, or my salt? He dragged his foot around the ground, kicking a few chunks of crystal my way. I didn't even look him in the eye anymore. Well, fuck you. I couldn't get in there. I could get you there. I could. I know just how to do it. The bus driver told me how to get in. If you want any help, though, you'll need to pay your debt. Please, sir, I'm sorry. What do I need to do? I don't know. I just want to be treated right, you know? Don't you think it's horrible to be in God in this forsaken heap of curses and salt? Worship me a little. Make an offering or two. Oh, I know. Be a dear and retrieve my skin from that terrible Christian prison. Would you? What do you mean? He held his hand up high, where some stray bits of fur and skin hung from the knuckles like vast tassels. My skin, Bertie. The thing that should be all around me. Those Christians took it from me, and my dear, dear kids tried bringing it back, but your grandpappy got them all killed, right? He didn't know that. He had to. Yeah, you come here walking and talking like you're hot shit, but I see through you, just a rotting drop of giant's blood, peacocking around as if your lineage didn't have millennia of defilement all around you. That's how I know your grandpappy, kiddo. He killed my worshippers. But, and let me be honest with you, but while you may be too much of a little shit to beg, I most certainly am not. If I still had any power, I'd curse you to become an arrowhead or something. But since I'm only a desecrate, rotten god, get me my pill, and I'll let you know how to get there, that hotel. It's the hinterland's oldest church, that one that got flooded. I can't dive on down there to get it myself. All the Christian juice around there would burn me to bone. But you little Greco something boy, I'd bet my left nut you could do it. Okay? Might need to do one or two of your disgusting rituals though. I know there's some warding magic there put in place by that old wannabe witch, using a certain peacock's feathers as catalyst. So just a little dive in praying and thanks and, well, I'll tell you how to get to that hotel. I got on my knees for this deity of the hinterlands. I had to grit my teeth and swallow my pride to do it in front of the storm. But you can't recover from treating a god like I did without some contrition. Well now, what a good birdie. He put a hand on the slothing off palm of my shoulder. Or slouching? Okay, slothing. I can only tense up and try not to retch. Do this one thing and we'll be friends, eh? And how about you, Storm? How's your day going? Pretty damn weird, sir. Yes, I understand too. I hate the sensation of 100 eyes all gazing at me. Give me the heebie-jeebies like you wouldn't believe. You think you can get me the little piece of shit to do an errand for me? I mean, he's my I'm not really sure what's going on, sir. You're a smart one. I'm sure you can figure it out. As for you, Birdie, I may be lower than dirt now, but I can still cast a curse or two. Were you not with my friend here, I'd have taught you a thing or two about what a bloody cycle of revenge really is. He kicked up another cloud of salt, almost losing his balance and spinning himself around this time. Now go. I went from being unable to meet Tekper's God's gaze to being unable to meet Storm's as he helped me up. And bring me a snack too. When you get back, a god needs offerings. Storm waved and called out, "Stay safe, old man." Storm, please don't tell a god to stay safe. It's improper. I felt like I needed to rush back to the hotel and hop in the shower to wash the old stench of that friend of Storm's out of my nostrils. Storm was concerned about us not having a good first impression of each other, a reasonable concern. I parked the car on the road's shoulder and turned off the engine. There was a cloud of yellow butterflies on the road, taller than 3 houses stacked together, and thicker than the worst fog in the world. It would be impossible to follow any curve in the road, let alone see if there was a car coming from the other direction. I didn't plan on dying just yet, so waiting for it to pass was the only option. Always happens around this time of year. The butterflies are having their breeding season. Horrible, disgusting, loathsome creatures. You don't like butterflies? No. They're just discount moths that only get in the way. I swear, every time I tried performing the rite of butterflies nearby, it's gone to shit. There's something in them that interferes with getting magical effects to stick. So now you mention that, I was thinking back to the ritual you did to make my charm, boss. I've been meaning to ask you something, sir. Don't know if it's forbidden or anything of the sort, but I thought it was worth a shot. Well then shoot. Could you teach me some of your magic? That's a tricky question. First off, don't call it magic. I know some rites and mysteries which, as the name implies, are meant to be secretive. Under most circumstances, I'd have to say no. But you are my protege, and I'm already extended some of my humanity to you. That does allow me to teach you a couple things at least. Come to think of it, there is some of that stuff you should probably know. But it won't be anything flashy. Oh, so you can't teach me how to throw fireballs? Idiot. These charms are alter people's minds in such a way that you and I can talk and walk around like normal humans. And you won't be a glorified matchstick. Just because it ain't flashy doesn't mean it's worth learning. Besides, if you want to kill someone, a gun's quicker and just overall better. I don't think anyone can do that, sorry. Plus, I specialize in more practical stuff, like different kinds of charm crafting and all that. On our way to the inn, we'll stop by the market. We'll need some materials. Animal entrails, flowers, human bones? Nah, more like bags of salt, beer, and paper clips. Hold that thought. I think we can make it though. We'll talk some more about the rites later. For now, keep your eyes peeled for the hotel. So we'll perform the rites tonight. It was later that night when the darkness made it possible to continue our search. We returned to our room in the inn, and after we'd settled ourselves, the kid had begged me to hurry up with teaching him magic. I'd have to take a deep breath and kept my palm pressed firmly against my thigh, and reminded him that we aren't doing shitty parlor tricks. Our supplies sat on the bed between us. A sack of coarse salt from the local mines with a beatific tapir printed on the side, a box of paper clips, and 2 6-packs of second cheapest beer in the store. We couldn't be entirely classless, now could we? Let's start with the simplest one, a purification rite. All mythicals are more or less vulnerable to the right term defilement, but for the sake of simplicity, let's just call it bad energy. It's not really a form of energy, and it just isn't necessarily bad if you know what you're doing, but for now, let's go with that. Back on topic, anyone can get bad energy by coming into contact with impure things like blood, waste, sexual fluids, or just any of that kind of filth. Bad energy can disrupt many kinds of rites, and some mythicals are so vulnerable to it that they can get sick if they accrue too much. Lucky for us, there are a number of ways we can cleanse ourselves. A good long bath with lots of running water does the trick, in most circumstances, but a quicker way for us feathery and furry mythicals is to use salt. The iodized shit they sell at most stores is alright in a pinch, but for the best results, you want to get the good halite, rock salt straight from the hearth, or Florida salt. Just grab a decent handful and sprinkle it all over your head like this. Storm kept a close watch on me as I demonstrated, letting the coarse grains sit on my head feathers and fall on my shoulders. He did the same, looking around the room and then back at me, hoping he did it right. I nodded. I don't feel any different. Yeah, bad energy is something most of us can really feel, but cleaning it off's important for us rights regardless. Another thing, in folklore, people use salt circles to ward off evil, right? Turns out that's a very functional way to shield yourself from other apparitions and stop bad energy from coming in. Take the sack and pour some salt along the windowsills and in front of the doorway. Storm hopped up to obey, pouring a line along the edge of the door with a careful precision. He looked back at me with a bit quizzical. I nodded. With yet more care, he poured a small strip of salt along the windowsills. Again, he looked back at me. Like a confused puppy waiting for approval, I nodded. What now? That's it. You've just performed your first purification rite. Aren't you proud of yourself? Well, that's lame. I was expecting something cooler like summoning electricity from my hands or creating light. You gotta earn your keep and now your damn place if you want to learn anything bigger than. I clenched my jaw, took a breath. Don't worry, I still have 2 more rights to teach you. This next one's not flashy either, but it could save your life. He handed me back the sack of salt and sat down on the bed with a huff. Petulant fucking child, another breath. As a mythical being, we're vulnerable to more than just bad energy. There's this thing. Some people call it recursion, others call it karma or whatever, but it doesn't really need a name. What matters is this thing makes sure some old patterns repeat. It conspires for things to happen in certain ways. And sometimes you might be feeling like some dangerous pattern starting up again, or maybe like you're stuck in a rut, going around and around, spiraling all out of control. Lucky for us, there's a way to disrupt it. Here, take one of these. I grabbed a handful of the paper clips and held it out to him. You probably won't believe this at first, but remember when I just said about spirals? What shape is this? A spiral, right? And what does it do? Hold shit together. So if you ever feel like you're in a situation where you feel like you're circling some dangerous thing that's happened before, just take one of these and break in your fingers. There, the more pieces the better. Then toss them over your left shoulder and don't look back. It has to be your left, and you can't look where they fall. You're leaving the old pattern behind with this gesture. It'll only stick if you follow the right. Storm was clearly not trying to pout out the politeness. If you want, I could give you something to pout about. God damn it, will you stop? He twisted the clip as fast as he could, then tossed the piece of paper over his shoulder. Okay. All the while looking at me like some humiliating prank. Fuck, this is so lame. Can't you teach me some fun rights? Oh, you have no idea what I have in store for you. Oh boy, I can't wait. I promise this will be the best one. You're gonna love it. With one hand, I pulled up some music on my phone. With the other, I pulled off 2 cans from the 6-pack. How old are you again? 21. Here then. I tossed him his can and cracked mine open, then exhaled and shut my eyes to gather my thoughts, waiting for him to ask a question or at least open his beer. Unruly fucking kid. Has no clue of the kind of danger we can get into if we fall down a spiral of recursion, and he thinks he deserves more to learn fun rights? If I teach him anything special, he'll definitely just use it to steal my wallet for real. Hell, I've been going really easy on him. If it was my dad, he was sassing like that, he'd have learned the real goddamn quick to keep his head down and his mouth shut. Maybe I should... What the fuck is wrong with you? He could have run away with the money, and goddamn it, I would have if I were in his place. But he didn't. He's not a bad kid. In fact, he's better than me by a mile. Hell, if I can't find the hotel, at least I'll be able to help him out. That's for damn sure. Better than anything I've done ever since joining the force. Boss, what are we doing? I shook away all those thoughts. What does it look like? We're having beer. And while we do, you and I are gonna have a little talk about what being a mythical is like. Is that even a right? Yep. You might not recall, but that charm of yours needs to be powered up a bit more. And we do that with some good old alcohol and talking. Thankfully, we only need fire to craft your charm, not to strengthen it. Storm stared at his beer can. His gauged ear flicked until he pacified it with a caress. Does he even realize that thing carries a piece of me? Doesn't he understand that I'm giving him even more of myself by doing this? That rite we perform to craft your charm is called Oath of Kinship. This particular method of charm crafting is based on taking what pieces of humanity we have in ourselves and honoring them, raising them up so that we may gain a place as kin of humanity, like family. And to craft that charm, I had to extend to you my own oath by putting a part of myself in that gauge of yours. One's humanity is living, breathing thing. It needs to be cleansed of any impurity which may corrupt it, and must be tended with like a flame. You should purify your gauge regularly, alcohol or running water, and soap once per day, if possible, with some salt, purification 2 or 3 times a week. I took a swig of my beer, and by talking, we will kindle it. If its fabrication is high quality, and should its flame go strong enough, a charm like what you got there could give you a perfect and indistinguishable disguise. I didn't have a lot to work with in terms of materials, but I know my way around these rites. I didn't want to mention it back then, but I am a trained occultist. Wait, so I'm not a fucking devil, and I didn't steal your soul. What I'm trying to say is that if you take good care of that charm for many years, one day I may get you to that level. It might even be better than a passport. Then why don't you use that kind of charm? I only ever see you with your passport. I had one, but it stopped working a while back. That kind of charm can fizzle out when the right master dies. But don't worry, I have no intention of dying anytime soon. You can trust me on that one. It took him another few seconds, but at least he opened his beer with a bit of a smile and took his first sip, all in one motion. Guess I'm on board with shooting the shit for a while. Attaboy. What do you say we get to it then? Guess I gotta think of a conversation topic, swell, huh? That's how we started, with Storm getting the very basics out of the way first. What's it like living in the capital? How's the weather here? Then he asked me how many other mythicals I know, how many there are, what kinds one could expect to find in the area. Didn't take too long for him to lose his shyness and get down to the real questions. Like, if I'm with someone in that way, and say they put their hands on my horns, what would they feel? The charm affects their perception and cognition. If they were to grab your horns, they wouldn't notice it. It doesn't change who you are, just how they feel and see. And remember, weird, wouldn't it be easier just to change your body? Can't you just do stuff like that with magic? Nah, that's much harder. There's no rite that can do something like that. I only know about gods and heroes of legend shape-shifting, but those are different. Those aren't around anymore. And gosh, can't believe I'm asking this. What's it like during, I'll admit, it was fun to let him squirm. He looked away, cheeks flushed enough to see through his black fur. I leaned back and laughed after drowning my beer. You know what I mean, you cunt. Sorry, I'm afraid I don't. Just, you're pretending to be stupid. Oh? You're calling your boss stupid now, kid. After I went through all the trouble of pulling you out of that cave and teaching you how to look human. No, sorry, sir. That's better. Now, like an adult, say what's on your mind. I just don't know what it's like during our sex. I couldn't hold back another laugh, and to my dismay, it came out far too bird-like for my taste. It was nice, though. The kid didn't seem to find it odd. The same principle applies. They'll see it and feel you as human, even if they should notice otherwise. If they touch your fur, it'll feel like skin. If they kiss you, they'll feel your mouth like a human one. They don't hear your hooves, nor notice your tail. But if you get too far from your charm, oh, they'll see every damn thing. That's why it's always good to have more than one on you. Every once in a while, you might find a human who's open-minded enough to know the truth, but it's not best to share too often. So as you can guess, dating a human can be difficult. If you're gay, it's a bit better. At least it's easier just to hook up. Excuse me, gay? Did I stutter? You're gay? Guilty as charged. That's a problem? No, sir, just surprised. A guy like you, you don't act like one at all. Well, you got those horns and hooves of yours, but I don't see you eating grass. He ducked his head like I had just reached out and smacked him across the mouth. I'm sorry. God fucking damn me. Nah, I should apologize. Kinda killed the mood, didn't I? No, it's just, I wasn't expecting it is all. I really don't have an issue with this, sir. If anything, I think being gay is cool. Cool, that goddamn it, Storm, you're killing me here. Hey, it's true, look, we don't have much around here, but I've seen movies and I don't know, there was some gay people in them, and I thought it was cool, alright? I'd much rather be gay and live somewhere nice than be straight around these parts. You're cool, is what I'm saying. And I'm glad you're gay. I tried. Believe me, when I say I tried not to laugh again. Hey, don't laugh at me, I'm serious here. God, you're killing me. If you don't stop laughing, I'll kill you, alright? Sure, try me, give me a good fucking reason to make you regret it. And when I'm done, you can cry like the bitch you are and beg to do anything I want. Anything for me to forgive you. Okay, I'm stopping. God damn it, I needed that. Look, it's just, sure, keep believing being gay is stylish and cool, you sweet naive child. It's charming. I just hope you never learn about dating apps. Well, you damn piece of shit. Now, you have to tell me about what those are. Now you're better off not knowing. Spill it. I know you want to. Okay, so nowadays you can just run a program on your phone to meet folks. You create a profile for yourself, and then you'll see everyone else around you who made one too. See who's nearby, send messages and stuff. Gays use those to hook up. If you can live in a busy area, and know what you're doing, you can get someone to suck your dick in no time. The kid almost looked at me like he didn't believe me at first, but the longer he seemed to think about it, the bigger his grin became. I bet I could score a ton with those dating apps, at least now that I look human. Sure. After you lose a kilo or 12. Damn, P, why you gotta be like that? Shit, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come across it like that. I was just thinking. It wasn't. I just think you're cool, okay? Sorry if I'm not good at putting that to words, but you don't have to be an asshole about it. Look, I'm sorry. I was lying, okay? Just being a cunt for no reason because I'm fucked up in the head. You look great. You're not even fat. You're just robust, and guys love that. You're big in the right places. There's nothing wrong with the way you look. I'm half bull, man. There's everything wrong with the way I look. You don't have to lie about me to make me feel better. And I'm a fucking peacock. What's your point? There's nothing wrong with me. And there sure as hell isn't anything wrong with you. You know what? You're right. I do look great. And it's about damn time you recognize my good looks. So what you like most about me? Don't make it weird. Don't fuck this up. Don't go too far. Look at him. Kid wants it real fucking bad. Never had a single good thing to say about him. His whole goddamn life, probably. Tell him what he wants to hear, and I bet he'll... Oh god. Sure, I'll bite. My 3 favorite things about you. Your mouth that never stops going on and on. Your horns, when they leave marks on my car ceiling. And how much you smell like a barn. That got the tension and got the kid cheered up. Guess I really can joke around without being an asshole about it. Damn straight. My smell is really something else, huh? Yeah, I just love how you can stink up the whole room. Think you can go out for a run to get just that tiny bit more pungent? I'll do anything for you, babe. If you want, I could even roll around the dirt to add a bit of spice. That won't be necessary. Your basic stench is good enough already. The kid chugged the last of his can, tossed it over his shoulder, and then hopped off the bed. Well, I'll be off then. Excuse me? Going out for a run like you ordered, sir. You better be ready for my sting when I get back. He was careful not to disturb the line of salt across the doorway too much as he headed out. And then there I was, left alone, all by my fucked up self. God damn it. I finished the rest of my beer and then got to cleaning up from my rights. When Storm, half an hour or so later, stinking of sweat and dusty fur, he crawled into bed to get some shut-eye. While he drifted off into dreamland, I spent a few hours trying to summon up another vision of that dark chamber with crystals, but I couldn't get any grip on it. I'd get the occasional flash of a moment of movement, but that might have been just me seeing things. It didn't help that the beer seemed to have gone right through me. The more I focused, the more I felt like I needed to take a leak. It was about 3 a.m. when I gave up. I stood, careful not to wake Storm. One would think a guy of his size would snore like a goddamn chainsaw, but he slept like a baby. When I glanced the other way, I saw movement in the light, coming from under the curtains. I drew back one of the panels to get a better look. On the line of salt Storm had put down, a handful of flies were buzzing around, walking all over it, even eating the grains. Weird. Salt was supposed to ward off this sort of defilement. I didn't know what the hell to make of the sight. I licked up a fingertip to wet it, placed it on the hopefully less fly-touched part of the line, then touched it to my tongue. It tastes like nothing. The Inn's restaurant was the size of a cramped living room. Its tables were covered by a thick, semi-transparent plastic, marred with scratches and cigarette burns, and far more than a single year's worth of unknown gunk. Every other one was decorated in a half-filled ashtray, some of the butts so old that they crumbled and released their dust into the slightest breeze. From the kitchen came the gurgling of something being boiled, along with the unmistakable, essentially hinterlandish smell of burning coffee. I could already taste the diabetes-inducing amount of sugar required to hide the flavor. Real local color. Storm and I had arrived at our usual time, but that day, none of the usual luxuries of our continental breakfast were served to us. No pungent cheese, slimy ham, hollowed bread, or a bottle of butter of the land. Just the burning coffee in the kitchen and a more inviting glass of instant coffee powder. Storm and I sat and waited, but the kid was restless, tapping away at his thighs like a set of drums. I had a hard time figuring out the rhythm he was going for. Hell, it was like he was overlapping 2 or 3 songs at once, but I managed to sneak in some humming here and there. Not long after, Storm spoke up. Hey, have you got more music on your phone aside from jazz songs you play in driving? Just those, but here, if the Wi-Fi holds up long enough, you can download some songs via app. Just please don't pick anything that's too much of an earworm. While Storm swiped and tapped away, I got up to ask the receptionist why there's no food. He wasn't at the front door, nor in the back. I checked the kitchen. And there he was, laid on the floor, with a tuna sandwich in his hand, half unconscious, and high out of his mind. I crouched down to his level when I spoke. You alright? He took one look at me, with blurry, drooping eyes, and responded with a slurred racial epithet? Okay. I put in my best effort to establish intellectual exchange, but he was unwilling to engage with me. Trying to sit him up at all just made him push me away. Despite the sorry position in the middle of the room, the fellow seemed perfectly content with his current predicament and unwelcoming to my interference. Well, fine, bitch. I'm helping you. Out of spite now. First thing I did was heft him onto the side. At least he didn't struggle against that, or maybe he was just more out of it with each passing second. After that, I shut off the stove. Idiot turned it on full blast, and the coffee had congealed into the singed syrup on the pot. Shut the fridge door. He stirred at its angry whining as it tried to fill it back up with cold air, and brought the poor bastard a cup of water. That's when I noticed his breathing getting shallow. I sighed. God damn it. If he dies, I'll waste the whole fucking day explaining the situation, and they'll probably question the kid. Might even take his charm. Fucking mess. What a fucking mess. I held back my disgust while I reached into his pocket. A little bundle of papers and his cell phone. No emergency service out here? I didn't know who the hell to call. But it would seem my semi-conscious new friend never had to sit through a cybersecurity analyst talking on and on about secure passwords and two-factor authentication. Which is to say, he didn't use a lock screen. And his wallpaper was a screen cap from a porn flick, watermarks and all. None of his contacts seemed to be the right person to call. He hadn't messaged or replied to any of them for a number of days. Shuffling through the papers I pulled out with the phone, I found a number that was circled a few times. Better that than any 8 ZZs or Marias. I got up and called. Hello? Do you know I leaned over to read his name tag. Is you know? Your brother, well, he's in a real bad spot over here at the inn. And could you probably use a hand? You can come now? Fantastic. Yeah, I'm in a bit of a hurry myself, so... She hung up. Sensible enough, her brother was still breathing, sometimes mumbling. I left him to his nap and went back to the dining area. So we getting any food? Nope, coffee's burned. The receptionist burned out. He's as high as a goddamn kite. And having a bad trip or some shit. His sister's on her way though. We'll get some food on the road. But sit tight a while longer. I can prepare some instant coffee while the guy's rescue comes. Aye, boss. That gives us just enough time to finish downloading a couple more songs. Off to the side of the table with a few empty boxes of tea bags and an overturned bottle of instant coffee powder. There were only beer glasses locked in the cabinet, a dozen plastic cups, and a single proper mug, featureless and blank, save for the praise Hail Mary and hand-printed on it. I couldn't control myself. I swear drinking from that Hail Mary mug just tasted better. Full of grace indeed. The instant coffee was actually halfway tolerable, to me at least. Storm, on the other hand, almost retched after the first sip of his plastic cup. This tastes like ass. I didn't know. Tastes fine to me. The nun slammed the front door open and came stomping in. I pointed her towards the kitchen, and she went in. With that hopefully sorted, I returned to my coffee. Plus, ass tastes much better. Oh, fuck off. I actually had something I wanted to show you. I downloaded a song I really like, if that's okay with you. Yeah, I got it. I got space on my hard drive for it. Now, let's waste no more time. We have an actual decent motel to hunt. Oh, we checking out of here? I knocked on Storm's horns with my knuckle. No, I'm talking about the magic Minotaur one. Let's go. Okay. What an amazing day this was. Or, yeah. Okay. I think... Why not just explain it here? Okay. Should I? Yeah, why not? Okay. I think the next place is Pond, by the way. Or whatever the flooded area is that the god was talking about. I don't know, it's probably the pond or this one, like a town. I think it's the pond because it said near here. Or near here. It's one of these two sites. That's where we're going next. Okay! Hi, everyone! How is everyone during this reading? I was gonna edit, a lot more than I wanted to, but nah. I'm like, currently, actually, in the works of another video, but, yeah. I don't know when that video will be out, because I'm not really good at editing, and it's fucking terrible. And I'm not good at drawing, and the video requires drawing, so yeah. Or animation, for that matter. So yeah, hi. It's just easy and fun to do. I swear, I'm actually going to probably get more videos out during the week, because one, I want to read more stuff, and I think the next game I'm going to read will be, I don't know, honestly, but this isn't bad. I'm actually liking P and Storm. Yeah. What else happened? Okay, recap the video. What have we done today? We, as a people, P and Storm. We found out P's gay, and he likes the taste of ass. Or ass is better than coffee or whatever. Okay. What else do we know? I guess. Oh, okay. I'm like missing over the big things. Okay. So we found God. Well, we found a god. The god of salt and something? Forgot. And we need to get his worshippers or something like that? I forget. I just know we need to go to a river or water of some kind. Because people that P's grandfather killed, or got killed, were his worshippers / children. And he hates P's guts because he doesn't hate him, he just doesn't like him because P apparently was one of the few people, or yeah, P did not respect this god. So yeah. Oh, so we found God. We found a god. Not found. We didn't find God. We found a god of salt. He was looking at us or following us around with people or whatever. And then reparations. And then he got angry at P. Apparently Storm knew him for like forever. And yeah. What else? I'm sorry. I'm terrible about these recaps, but if you're here, good job. Yeah. Okay. I think I should start saying the kind of stuff that I'm putting in the description, because I don't know, like, if that's disrespectful to whoever made the VN, because I don't make these, by the way. I never made this. I just read it. You probably all know that, because me, a college kid with time? No. Or, yeah, like, dang. I swear, I only read this stuff when, like, I have, like, an hour or two to spare. Then I gotta do other work. Sucks. I gotta study after this. No! But you gotta do what you gotta do. For freedom. Okay, I wonder how everyone's doing. Maybe say in the comments, or... yeah. Also, I saw we hit 10 subs. Nice. I'm actually, like, super surprised, even though I sound like I don't. I'm not sure if I said that already, but, like, damn. 10 subs. Wow. Thank you. Or 12, I think. 12, is it? Thank you. I don't know if I'm deserving of that, but thank you a lot. But let's start going on with the stuff that's gonna be in the description. Let me see. Sorry. Where is it? Okay. In the description, there's going to be... this VN is made by... okay, I'm like getting distracted. Yeah, I'm like terrible at this. I'll get used to it. Okay. Minotaur Hotel, because I don't know. Okay. VN is made by Mino. I put Patreon and his subscriber star in the description below. And this is where you can support if you like their project, or just read it yourself. I also put where you can get the project, or download it yourself if you want to read instead of having me read. Yeah. I will try to do that better. I'm not sure if I think I tried to put the Itch.io page, or I do try to put Itch.io page, but it doesn't work because it's not .com, I think. So I just put like their Patreon and subscriber star, and just like, I think a download link of some kind. Let me check. I'm not professional, guys. I don't have my videos up all the time. Okay. Yeah, I can't put the where to get the game, but I put their Patreon and link in the description and their subscriber star, where you can support the team and the game itself. Or like, if anyone knows how to like, I don't know, because I'd like it if I could like link the game in the description. But yeah, thank you for watching, or reading/listening. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing to them, not me. If you like the game, you can consider their subscribe star or Patreon, where you can support their team in the video or their game. I will see you guys later.